Hello and welcome to the Reading After Bedtime podcast. We're part cozy book club, part chaotic mom chat, and 100% after bedtime energy. I'm Allison.
And I'm Becca. We're two friends who met in college who talk about our favorite books, authors, tropes, trying to squeeze in reading among the craziness that is motherhood, and so much more.
This is a judgment-free space for two busy moms to dive into the books we love, the authors who inspire us, and the tropes that keep us turning the pages.
Today, we'll be talking about Witcha Gonna Do by Avery Flynn, which was published December 6th of 2022.
Before we jump in, we'd love to connect with you on socials. Use the Reading After Bedtime podcast handle to find us on Instagram and YouTube, and Reading After Bedtime pod on TikTok. Links are also in the show notes.
While your phone is in your hand, we would be so thankful if you would provide an honest 5-star review. It's truly the quickest and easiest way to help out small podcasters like us. And I'm sorry, I'm tired.
And this one isn't even after bedtime.
No, it's during nap time today.
It's nap time. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to read you the synopsis from the back of the book. This is still spoiler free. We will get to our spoilers section in a minute and we'll give you a heads up. Could it possibly get any worse than having absolutely no magical abilities when you're a member of the most powerful family of witches ever? It used to be that I'd say no, but then I keep getting set up on dates with Gil Connolly, whose hotness is only matched by his ego. Seriously, I can't stand him. Even if I also can't stop thinking about him, specifically kissing him. But we're going to pretend I never told you that part. So yeah, my life isn't the greatest right now. But then it goes straight to the absolute worst hell when I accidentally make my sister's spell glitch and curse my whole family. And the only person who can help non-magical me break the spell? You guessed it, Gil, the super hot jerk. Now we have to work together to save my family and outmaneuver some evil-minded forces bent on world domination. Oh yeah, and we have to do all that while fighting against the attraction building between us. Because I may not be magical, but what's happening between Gil and I sure feels like it.
Okay. So, this book had so much potential. And we're not, in this podcast, we are not going to rag on authors. That is never going to be our goal. That's never going to be what we're going to do. But we are going to be honest about what we felt with this book. And Avery Flynn is one of my favorite authors. I love reading her stuff. So for this one, for me, overall, it was a 30. It
Same.
Wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was just kind of There could have been some changes that would have made it a 4 for me very easily.
Yeah.
But as is, it was a 3.
I agree. I'm going to try not to spoil anything just yet. I'm also a 3. I feel like it almost read more cringy. Like, you kind of heard the tone in the back of the book. Mm-hmm. Like, she's talking to you like your besties, which isn't necessarily bad, but this happens like all throughout the book, specifically in the beginning. She's really self-deprecating about being non-magical. And I feel like that was a little overdone, and maybe reducing that by, I don't know, like 80% would have left room for more of that depth that we're going to get into later that I think we were both probably hoping for.
Yeah. And I would say, and this isn't really a spoiler, she's supposed to be 28, I think. And she read almost like she was 18 to 20.
Yeah. I will say, finish your sentence.
And that to me made it hard because I'm like, 28, you should be more comfortable in yourself. So.
Yes, I will say I rated it a 3 because one specific character saved it for me. And if it wasn't for this podcast, honestly, I might have DNF'd it. But me and Becca were joint reading it to talk about it. So I pushed through. And yeah, one specific character saved it for me. And I'll get to that and why when it's time, because I can't tell you without spoiling the ending.
Yeah, so I will say that chili pepper rating, the spice, it was a solid 3. Like,
Yeah.
it's descriptive. They use very descriptive words for descriptive parts. Parents, if you have your children listening, please pause it right now and go put headphones in, because we will be talking all the dirty details of this book. So I want to make sure that you are comfortable listening to it in the space you are at. So this is the time to pause and get headphones, or pause and come back later if you do not want your kids to listen to us talk about the spicy parts.
This is also your official spoiler warning, so what you're gonna do. So if you don't want it spoiled, we'll see you later after you've read this, okay? Today we'll be talking about characters, plot twists, our predictions, tropes, and so much more. If you don't want the entire story spoiled, hit that pause button, and we will see you once you're done.
Okay, I'm going to count you down. 5, 4, 3. If you are still here, you're going to get spoilers. 2 and 1. So here is our spoiler summary. Tilda Sherwood is a 28-year-old entree, a null, someone without any sort of magic in her body, or so she thinks. Her famous magical family is some of the most powerful in the witch world, and she is in charge of their social media. Trying to expand in her social life, she begins dating and asks to be set up by her godmother, Griselda. Unfortunately, every date she is set up on is with Gil Connolly, a hot professor type who has a huge ego, dickhead personality. After the 3rd time, Tilda cannot believe that she is again set up with Gil. Through Gil's point of view, we find out he is being blackmailed by the council to gather information on Tilda, and keeps arranging these dates, trying to get closer to her. Gil is also working with the resistance to try to get his parents out of the beyond. They run into each other a few times and in a few different places. The chemistry and Gil's drool magic is almost combustible. When Tilda is helping her sister with a spell, things go haywire, and her whole family, except for her, become frozen. When she goes MIA for 24 hours, her 2 best friends, Eli and Birdie, along with Gil, show up at her house. Eli, Birdie, Tilda, Gil, and Vance, the unicorn shifter, develop a plan to steal the, I'm sorry if I messed this up, Libra Umbrium. When
I was listening to the audio, I think they said the Liber Umbrarum.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best, okay?
She read most of the book I audioed, so.
A priceless spell book owned by the rival Stevenson family from a museum exhibit that they were opening. The whole time, Gil is keeping the fact that Tilda is a spellbinder, the most rare type of witch, to himself, though Vance, Griselda, and Tilda's whole family knows. As they are heading to steal this spell book, Tilda and Gil give in to temptation and have mind-blowing sex. They make the heist, and even though they are almost caught, they get back to the train. Gil and Tilda have mind-blowing sex again, cheer for a man who loves to go down on a girl. The next morning, Gil tells Tilda she is a spellbinder using the book, the Libra Umbabrum. That's probably not how you say it, but
We'll just call it the book.
The book. When Gil goes to meet with the others, the train is stopped by Eric Stevenson because they found them, who is trying to get the book back. Apparently, finders keepers is not the thing. With no time to inform Tilda where he is going to he transports with the book to the Sherwood house to go unfreeze her family to help them. Unfortunately, Tilda just sees him disappear and thinks he has abandoned her. She goes to the train car where everyone is being contained. Vance is knocked out. Tilda, Eli, and Birdie try to combine their powers to break free with Eric. While Eric is distracted, and he honestly doesn't think they can do anything because they are all misfits. They do, however, manage to break free, to Eric's disbelief, while also managing to derail the train. Luckily, the whole Sherwood clan shows up and saves the day. Woo! Tilda apologizes. Her family apologizes. Gil tries to apologize, but Tilda tries to banish him. It does not work, and she makes a bunch of trees disappear. She finally listens to Gil, and they end up running off with a magic carpet. Epilogue is set 5 years in advance, where Gil and Tilda are married, have triplets, and more on the way. And you find out the council gets taken care of, but not how. Okay. My biggest gripe with this book is that, again, it had so much potential.
Yeah.
But the parts that should have been hyped up, like the heist and everything like that,
Detailed, suspenseful, like,
were done so quick.
nothing happened on the page except self-deprecation and chili pepper. The chili pepper scenes are more descriptive.
Yeah. I will say, she does really well with sex scenes. And that's one thing that I like about her, is that she will be descriptive for those scenes. Some authors shy away from that. She does not. However, the character of Tilda just fell flat.
Very
because
much so.
all she talks about. Okay, we are back. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties because when
My
we
computer
don't
hates
have
me today.
yeah, when we don't have our kids around, we have other things going on. So, like we were talking about, it just a lot of the stuff that happened that she spent time looking into, or not looking into, but getting into, she could have used that time to go into some of the more high suspense areas. She was very descriptive at the beginning when it wasn't really needed.
Yeah, I feel like it was all kind of like I mentioned earlier. She was very self-deprecating. She spent a lot of time building up to the romance between her and Gil, which I am fine with. I'm good with a good slow burn. But, and I wouldn't even call this really slow. But a lot of that had self-deprecation woven into it. And I feel like a good introduction about how she feels about it, and then a sentence or two here and there to like remind us,
Yeah.
we would have been good. And she could have spent that time developing the heist, developing that train scene at the end a little more with Eric Svensson, developing, like, I don't know, all of it.
Yeah. I felt like I said, the character of Tilda read very young.
Yes.
And she's supposed to be 28. Gil read about 28, 30. Like, he read older. I really liked Gil as a character. I thought he had depth. He had reasons for what he was doing. And you understood what he was doing. For Tilda, it was just, I think, all that, like, I'm a null, I'm an entree, I can't do magic, I suck kind of language was supposed to make her endearing. Instead, it made her
annoying.
Yeah.
I agree.
It kind of reminds me. So anyway, one thing though is like she goes to this kind of group support system for misfits, and while they were there, all I could think about is the Wreck-It Ralph like villain support group. And when they go like, I am a villain and that's okay. Like, I feel like that's what I understood. It was hard because like a part of me was like, okay, is everyone a witch? But then she uses places like Virginia or like Salem, and I'm like, okay, is it the real world? Like, I didn't really know the setting of it because it seemed like the real world, but she also kept bringing in the witchingdom. But if it was a real world, then wouldn't it not be a big deal if you didn't have magical powers? Like,
So I had to kind of, in my mind, like, kind of relate it to Harry Potter. How, yes, they're in the real world, but they have their magical pockets.
Okay.
Like, they have Diagon Alley, which is right there next to, like, a common, like, muggle spot, right? And then Hogwarts is very magically protected, so anybody there wouldn't see Hogwarts. I kind of, like, justified it that way, but that was my headcanon. It would have been cool if there was, like, an actual canon. Like...
Yeah. I did love the description of the Alchemist bookstore and tea emporium. Like, that was really cool that it kind of made me, it reminded me of like those indie bookstores you go in and just enjoy spending time in. Vibes. And she sounded like it's just good vibes. Vance, the unicorn shifter. I don't know if I've ever heard of a unicorn shifter. Which isn't saying much because now we have like door shifters and pumpkin shifters and stuff like that. But the fact that he has a unicorn horn all the time is probably the funniest thing I could have like pictured. I was just like,
and then like unicorns, pretty. My Little Pony, pretty and sparkly and pinks and purples. And then there's Vance, this gruff, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like director of, like, some government agency. Like, so he was very much a contradiction there. I feel like it was a missed opportunity, too.
So, when you were reading it and you came across the character of Griselda, what did you picture?
An old... hag.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I pictured. And then to come to like the end when they talk about how like Vance and Griselda are like flirting, and I'm over here like, wait, something's not adding up.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming at all. That was a surprise to me. I felt like I just missed something with the audio. I'm sorry, my kid is half barging if you don't know what's going on right now.
I'm like, I understand that they're both supposed to be pretty old. And they both work at the Resistance. But I didn't quite I didn't know if I missed something or if like...
I thought it was the audiobook in it and falling asleep, honestly.
Yeah, I probably... Yeah, that might have been the portion that I listened to on a car ride. So... Okay, the other thing that irked me... It didn't piss me off, which is why it's a 3 and not a 2. It just irked me. The names she came up with for some of the places were so cliche. Like, okay,
these are a few.
Hocus Pocus Pub. They had a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo book reference. Sorry. The Witchingdom. Witchygram. Well, of course, Salem. Like, Salem doesn't bother me.
That bothers me more than the fake ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, the fact that it was called the Witchygram and the Witchingdom, I'm just like, I can't.
Then,
like,
what, like Wrightsville? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
We went from witches and magic to Wrightsville.
Yeah. Wrightsville.
Just Wrightsville.
I did love their house. The fact that their house looks like a normal mansion on the outside, and then when you walk in, they all have their separate houses.
Reminded me of Casita from Encanto.
Kinda, yeah. But I pictured it more of like, when you walk in, it's like a courtyard. So it's more like outside than Casita is.
Okay. I did really like their connective tunnels, though. Like, no matter how far it was, they had their magical tunnels, and you're just like, bam, there. Like,
except she had
to have a couple of those.
Yeah. The fact she had beef with a chicken, I was just like,
chicken.
It's a chicken. Okay, we have another hey here. Like, but this one, instead of being dumb, yeah, instead of being dumb, it's going to be,
mean,
attacking. Like, yeah, it was. And then I found it I kind of like the idea that every person's magic had a scent. That was kind of cool.
Buttery popcorn is weird.
Buttery popcorn's weird, and the salt, like, and I understand. It was like, oh, salty, buttery popcorn go together. Like, coffee or like honey and cinnamon sugar go together.
You couldn't have given me something more like, I don't want to say craveable, because popcorn's craveable, but like
the
romantic?
Like chocolate or, I guess strawberries.
Peanut butter and chocolate, or strawberries.
Something else. The coffee one got me because I was like, if I had magic, my magic would probably smell like coffee because I drink so much of it. I wish we got a little bit more on like Eli and Birdie. They kind of like hinted that they were a couple, but not really.
Yeah, Eli was just very protective over Birdie, and they were very touchy-feely, but other than that...
It was kind of funny that there were some comic reliefs in this. Like, Birdie was allergic to her magic, so she kept sneezing every time she tried to use magic. Eli just had anxiety over his magic. So, like, those were parts where I'm like, okay, that's kind of different. That's new. Like, I like that. But then
development, please.
Yeah. But then development. Exactly. I think I would have rather had this be a longer book and have more development over the characters.
Or a two-parter. Like, there is another book, but it doesn't follow Tilda anymore. Yeah. We're going to get to that at the end. Like, I would have taken a two-parter if things were more
And I
developed.
will say, I believe this is Avery Flynn's first paranormal fantasy kind of like book where in paranormal and fantasy you have to develop them stronger because you have so many things going on that you need to go more in depth. So coming from a like rom-com kind of, realistic contemporary fiction to paranormal, there's going to be a vast difference in those. Like, how you write them have to be different.
That's probably it. You're probably right.
Yeah. And I think the more she writes paranormal, the better she'll get. But I do think that it is one of those, she had a lot of good ideas. They just didn't get developed. I think it's stormy. Sorry, I'm going to look outside real quick. Hey, it's raining. It's Texas, and it's raining.
In October.
Rains. Yeah, in October. Fall! It, feels like 75, but fall! And so...
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
That's the thing, like, with the romance genre, like, take the fantasy and the magical element out of it. It is very Chili Pepper scene, like, reliant. But then when you cross over into like fantasy and romantasy, there's this place for it, but it's definitely not the first thing readers are usually looking for. We want that good fantasy element with it as well, in a very well built world and magical system. At least that's what I'm looking for.
Well, and I think that's why a lot of times when you have paranormal, especially now, you have more than one book in a series of one or two characters. Like, or there's a bunch of characters and you get their stories all together. Whereas in rom-com or, contemporary romance, even like witchy romance, because there are some of those, if you have a witchy rom-com or a witchy like contemporary romance, they don't have to build the world very well because it's simple magic that people just assume. Like witches, they have magical powers. Okay, I'm going to tidbit here, but it doesn't have to, I'm not changing the world. I'm not changing everything around them. They still live in this. Like, you can do those breadcrumbs. But I feel like this one, she was going too much into the fantasy. And
to do the breadcrumbs.
Just the breadcrumbs. Like, if you're going to do the breadcrumbs, you have to just stay in the real world. And if you want to go into a whole new magic system, whole new big bad, a whole new like whatever it is,
It needs that time.
it needs that time. Speaking of the big bad, like you had the council.
What is it? What are they against even? Like,
no idea. All I could understand is they wanted to go back to the way things were. Well, how were the things? Like, what exactly are they wanting to do? And I think that's why, like, they kept saying the council and the resistance, and it's like, well, but
what are
give
we
me
fighting?
more.
I didn't understand that part, and I honestly thought I fell asleep and nodded off when that happens.
Yeah.
So I don't like audiobooks for like an initial read like this because that happens. But if you don't get it either, then I definitely didn't miss anything.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and you have one person from the council that you learn about with it, which is Cassius, I think, who is like
his
Gil's
handler?
handler. Yeah. But then you never see any of the other council. They're off page. And
everything was off page.
I feel like it would have been beneficial to have like a meetup of like a head person, or keep it as like a FBI kind of agency that wants to stop magic instead of the council that wants. I didn't quite understand that.
I think if we had had a flashback memory or like even like a present time moment of Gil appearing in front of the council, or Vance telling Gil that he met with the council and kind of like recounting that for him, I think that could have been just like a major.
Well, Vance was a part of the resistance.
Oh yeah, but is he secret part of the resistance?
I don't know. Like,
is he undercover?
again, I don't remember. So,
are we looking too far into this?
I think what we're really getting at is if you're going into this just wanting a romance book, it's great. It's a good romance book. If you're wanting fantasy, not the book for you.
I think you're right.
Because there are times where it's just like, I want more. Like, they talk a little bit about the beyond. There's a re-education center. Why do you need to be re-educated? Like, what do you mean? And then there was part tundra, part coastal district of the beyond. And I'm like,
how big is the beyond? And if it's
how
coastal,
big is it?
like, why was it hard to find food?
Well, because they were in the tundra. They were going to move to the coastal area if he did what the council wanted. But this was like one paragraph. And so
I want more about that. Like,
yeah.
His parents, did we ever?
Only in the epilogue, and it was like his parents were talking to her parents. That's all we got.
I couldn't get a reunion. Like, we had a Gil point of view for half the book. I couldn't get a reunion.
Yeah, I was like, and then the part where Vance has like the engagement ring that like his mom never takes off, and I'm like,
I thought she was dead.
I know. I'm like, but then he uses it to propose to.
I think so.
I'm just like, oh my god, there's so much going on.
I felt whiplashy almost in some aspects.
Yes.
Like,
and then you never really get any information about like dual magic.
Dual was what the audiobook said. Okay. Yeah, and then you spelled it, I was like, oh, that's not what I thought.
Yeah. But it's just pretty much like, it's almost like it's not an amplifier, because that's pretty much what a spellbinder is. Like, she amplifies other people's magic. But
I think it plays off of others, right? That was it. Desire, the word that he used, like the desire.
Yeah, it's like
be there.
It's the desire, like it will make you like the attraction more, or like your desire for power or for somebody, or like that kind of thing. And I was like, but isn't that kind of an amplifier too, or like where
I felt like those weren't explored enough either. Yeah. Like, if his dual magic is going to be a big plot point of why he got in trouble and why his family was exiled, can you please?
I need a backstory.
Tell me why.
Yeah. Like, he was 15. He probably knows exactly what happened. So, like, what made it so that they were captured? Because he said that he moved around a whole bunch to not be captive or taken captive. So what happened that they were captive?
Sorry if you can hear my daughter.
It's okay. Like, what made them be captured?
Yeah.
And so
what did they do?
Feel
That
like
was so wrong.
Yeah. And then you find out that like she's a spellbinder, which is another like, no, the council is going to want to use her. But like there was no point when she even like met up with the council. Like I feel like it was all this big bad of the council and then we never got it. Well, then to come find out like in the epilogue, the freaking epilogue, that one of her other sisters like deals with it, and I'm just like,
the sister
so you're telling me
that we're supposed to care about.
Yeah,
But she was frozen the whole time.
yeah, it was just the epilogue too. Like I would have like just like
3
instead
years.
of
2 years.
well, instead of 5 years, it would have been great if it was like a few months or going to the next book. Like who are we going to look at next? Because this one we got information. She freaking has triplets.
And she's pregnant again? I'm sorry. You give me triplets? I'm done.
And I did like the little moment between Vance and Griselda because they're like fighting over the like kid, like one of them. And it's super cute. But it's also like, I didn't need the epilogue.
You know what I didn't need in the epilogue was earmuffs if you're listening to this with your children around. The quote, second trimester horniness.
Yes! Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. There was no point in my pregnancy where I was just like, gimme, gimme, gimme. I was like, get away from me. I am huge. Leave me alone. I feel gross. Like,
I had a complicated pregnancy, wasn't even allowed to. So, you know.
I'm just... It's one of those, like, I understand some women do, and that's great. I love that for them. That was
she talked about it way too much in that short epilogue.
Yeah. Between that and then just some of the words, like, the pretty, you know, pretty penis. And, you know, how she describes some of the
one like, of her dreams.
Yeah. Like... Again, she read like she was 18, and I'm like, girl, you're not a virgin in this. Like, she even said like she had sex with other people. So like,
why are you so enamored?
Yeah. Yes. But you know what? I will say something. At least, you know, the main male character was willing to go down on her. So congratulations. Because there are some books that still, it's like, come on. Okay. So those were our thoughts on
that note,
Whatcha Gonna Do. And I will say, I still love Avery Flynn. I will still read her books. I have a few on my shelf to read. I don't know if I'll read the rest of the series.
I won't.
I'll have to wait to see if my
revisit her if she keeps doing these like paranormal-y ones. I'm curious to see how that growth develops because you made that really good point. It's her first one, so.
But I do have some similar books that were 4 and 5 stars for me.
Do you want to do the sequel before this or after this?
Yes. So we can do the sequel. I don't think I have a picture of it, but I can post a picture. Right. I'll plug in a picture right here. So,
the sequel, it's called Head Witch in Charge. It was just released. It's part of the Sherwood Witches series. These two are, and it follows her sister, Leona. Yeah, I think it's Eric and Leona's story. They're married, apparently.
Yeah.
And this is according to the back of the book, because I haven't read it, so I'm not going to spoil anything. They're divorcing, but I guess throughout this whole thing, they're like the whole back and forth of, we're actually good for each other, or no, we're going to get divorced. Yeah. So I think that's kind of the undercurrent of the romance there.
I think it was pretty much like he wants it, she wants a divorce, but the only way she'll give him a divorce, or only way he'll give her a divorce, is if she goes with him to return the book that Tilda sold,
when they
stole,
borrowed,
to like this high security area. I don't know. That's what I understood of it. It might not be, but that's my take. So the first one that I would recommend, this was a 4 stars for me. And this has witches and like shifters in it. And that's Not the Witch You Wed. So we have a magicless witch again, and an alpha wolf shifter. And it's like their love story of, he's the man who broke her fragile teenage heart, but when the two of them are forced by a supernatural laws to find mates, Violet and Lincoln agree to fake date their way to a fake mating in order to conjure themselves some time. Joke's on them when old feelings make an appearance, along with Violet's magic. They both realize there's nothing fake about their feelings. So, highly recommend. It was a 4 for me. I liked the banner. I liked the second chance and the fake dating aspect of it. And it was really, really well done. But again, not a lot of changes to the world. It's still in the world. It just, they live in, the shifters and the witches live in that world. And then this one was a 5 star for me. I read it a few years ago. I want to say 3 or 4 years ago. So it might be a different rating now. I don't know. I haven't reread it. But this is The X-Hex by
that's
Aaron
on my list.
Sterling. I loved this book. I really, really did. So again, it's a second chance romance. It's 9 years ago. Vivian Jones nursed her broken heart like any young witch would. Vodka, weeping music, bubble baths, and a curse on the horrible boyfriend. And so then they have to work together in order to break the curse. And it is so good. Like, this is probably one of my favorite witchy, like, rom-com-y books. So highly recommend The XX. Those two, again, are very similar, but I do think they have a little bit more, they weren't as thrown into like a fantasy paranormal world. So, I don't hear you. No. There we go.
I'm good. I muted myself because my daughter's crying in the other room. I think my husband's trying to get her down for a nap and she's angry about it. I mean,
they just, yeah.
One final thought, because I said a character saved it for me, but I didn't tell you who.
Yeah.
And that would be Gil, because he was much more well-rounded, but definitely really more because he was like a giant simp for Tilda. And I don't know. I love when a male main character just becomes like a pile of mush for his person.
Yeah.
Like, so that's what saved it for me. That's my final thought on that. Next week, we're going to roll into that.
Yep.
All right. So next week, we're doing a topic episode, and then we're going to cover our next book, On Wings of Blood by Briar Bullion, on November 10th. I've started reading this. I don't know, less than 100 pages in. Honestly, already really loving it. I cannot wait to dive into this for you. So thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Reading After Bedtime.
Don't forget to subscribe on all platforms and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And remember to tighten your messy bun, grab a cup of coffee, and show today who's boss. Bye.
Bye.